Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between Morrow and Drewbie, this time on Blistering Sands. We have Morrow spawning here as the blue Terran player, meanwhile Drewbie spawning here as the red Terran player. So this is going to be a Terran matchup. Morrow switching from Zerg to now play Terran. So we'll see how this game goes. Going to go ahead and just open up the production tab. Now, a lot of Terran versus Terran really boils down to either if you can get a decent number of Marines and Marauders early to try to stop your opponent from being able to tech that quickly. If you're not able to, then you quickly find yourself behind and then trying to fight an uphill battle against Vikings and Siege Tanks. Vikings Siege Tanks with Marine support, very, very strong. Both sides thus continuing to play, placing down their supply depots. You can take a look at the production tab. I expect both players to pretty much be opening with the same build so far, as we're probably going to get a 12 racks followed by a 13 or 14 refinery, and then upgraded to an orbital command. From there, things may start to change whether or not the players decide to add on an add-on onto that barracks, or if they try to build a faster factory. We now see a barracks being placed down by both sides, Morrow and Drewbie, as Drewbie currently just getting up that additional racks or that first racks right now. We should be seeing, I believe, a refinery coming in. Yeah, refineries are now coming in as well. Both sides, almost the same exact build time on those refineries and almost the same build time on those barracks so far. So both players trying to get and trying to play this as a game of seconds, trying to get a small advantage on top of their opponent, and then perhaps be able to carry that advantage through into the mid game. Refinery is now down and now going to be harvested with 3 SCVs. We do see Morrow now moving up the ramp as well and now doing some early scouting. And this scout will cost a little bit of minerals just because this SCV is not currently mining. As it's still wandering around, does see that there is an upgrade to an orbital command, now a Marine being trained, and this SCV needs to get the heck out of there. Otherwise, that the scouting will be even longer, as that one Marine now coming in over there. Will that Marine be able to shoot down that SCV? I do not believe so. Able to escape with 15 hit points, as a Marine now walks onto that low ground. Perhaps 2 Marines are going to be coming in. We also see the Marine trying to make sure that there are no proxy barracks is down over here, as a proxy racks is always fairly difficult to deal with, as this Marine continues to give chase. Barracks now lifting off and then being repositioned here. A little bit curious, as we're now getting another refinery coming in from Morrow. We already have the other refinery coming in from Drewbie, and now Morrow, because he had a scout with that earlier SCV, does not have enough for I believe another Marine there, as he is also getting a reactor. So we currently have 2 Marines here on the high ground with 1 bunker, meanwhile 2 Marines with 1 bunker. Things start to change though, as we are now getting a reactor onto that barracks as opposed to a tech lab on that barracks. So what will be happening? Will Morrow start training up some siege tanks and get a starport is going to be a key question here, and perhaps even try to train and add on a reactor in order to be able to start double training Vikings in just a moment. Back over here, Morrow seeming to have not that many SCVs currently, sitting on 20 over 20 SCVs so far, and now 2 Marines into that bunker still being trained. We do see a starport now coming, or now being built as well. So both sides building starports, as we are now getting 1 siege tank off of this factory. I do not believe that we will be seeing any cloaking, as that siege tank does delay the cloaking on that Banshee for quite some time. We now have a Hellion perhaps trying to test the waters. We'll be able to come in over here in just a moment, but there is a bunker, and that bunker does have 2 Marines inside, and now supply depot on the back door to ensure that there is no units trying to come in that way. Hellion's perhaps going to try to come up that ramp. There is 1 SCV. That SCV going to get taken down very, very easily there. 2 rounds of attack, already at below half-life, 3 rounds, and now 1 more, 4 rounds. There it goes. Siege tank up on that high ground and able to get off a quick blast onto that Hellion. Hellion taking 39 damage relatively quickly with the help of those Marines in that bunker. And now both sides trying to move. We now see a Raven now being trained up by Morrow. Meanwhile, back over here we do see a starport, but that is it. Only training up Hellions and more Marines, finally getting a tech lab here, as these units now trying to move out. We may get an elevator drop into this location. What's interesting about this is the brush, you can actually elevator drop into here and then elevator drop once again, and because even though you're straight next to a supply depot, you will not get sight onto that location. Raven here now, Raven operational and online, as it is. We're going to see another Tech Lab reactor swap here in order to double train Vikings and get some siege tanks. And now Marines dropping out of the sky to deal some damage. Are we going to see any real damage being dealt as those Marines trying to fight back once again? There are a lot of Hellions on that low ground. The Hellions were unable to clean up any of those Marines, and perhaps an auto turret or something needs to be placed here in order to prevent any of these Marines from taking that much damage. Will the medevac try to come along this side, drop those Hellions, and then run them straight into this base? Morrow would have a very, very difficult time of even trying to figure out or even being able to respond to that very easily, as that medevac now pulling off to the side. Raven now currently sitting here, and now finally being trained up as that medevac now going to be dropping. The Morrow does not see that the Hellions are now being dropped and now dropping out. Will those Hellions be able to deal any significant damage? I believe so. Coming in, getting a lot of damage dealt, trying to get another round of attack. So many SCVs now taken down, even more damage. Will those Hellions be able to get any damage across multiple Marines as well? Those Marines, however, do deal a lot of damage, and now trying to fall back once again. There is no expansion coming in from either players, and we do have a command center now coming in, but that needs to be lifted off as well. Meanwhile, we have Morrow already completed with his orbital command. We'll be able to set this up in just a moment. Medevac coming back in for more, wants to get more damage, wants to get more SCV oil, SCV blood, in order to just be able to slow down the economy even further. There are a lot of supply depots here, so these Hellions are going to have to come around and try to deal some damage, and in comes this ghost, trying to get some more damage across multiple of those SCVs. SCVs now running away once again, trying to get more damage dealt, and this is a lot of damage to the economy of Morrow. Morrow now severely hurting here. Will he be able to lose? Will he lose any more of those SCVs? Yes, constantly losing units left and right, as that one Hellion still able to just move around and deal a lot of damage. However, it looked like as though that one SCV didn't take any damage at all, as these siege tanks are still trying to move out. One Marine activating this along a watchtower here and here as well. So the game and map control definitely belonging to Drewbie at this stage. And now the Vikings are on the move with that one Raven. The Raven does have enough energy for a point defense drone, but it will only be able to intercept Viking attacks and Marauder attacks if we ever even see a Marauder being placed out by Drewbie. Siege tanks now perhaps should siege up. They are going to be meeting their army over here, and now Drewbie trying to pull away, and now in come those Marines. Marines trying to deal some damage, and now siege tanks sieging up once again. Both sides being able to, trying to take down that Raven, and now down goes some of those Marines. Marines now getting splash damage as well, as both sides taking heavy casualties, and now more Marines getting popped once again. More siege tanks trying to push out just beyond sight range. Will this Raven perhaps try to drop an auto turret here and deal some damage? Perhaps those Vikings also going to be able to take down those medevacs as this game continues. Siege tanks now trying to siege up, and now down goes one siege tank, now trying to drop some auto turrets. Auto turrets are on the ground, and they will be able to clean up the rest of these siege tanks here, even though siege tanks were trying to focus down on Morrow's siege tanks as well. Vikings once again on the move. There is a point defense drone in the air intercepting many of those Viking attacks, but Marine attacks are not interceptable, as both sides are now continuing to attack. Another Raven now very low on hit points as Marines continue to push in, able to deal more damage. Are we going to get another auto turret? No other auto turret, as Drewbie now taking a lot of losses so far in terms of his army count. Army-wise, down to 700. Harvester count does have a slight advantage at this point in the game, but with Morrow not relenting in this attack, able to pick off many of these medevacs. Marines without medevacs are going to have a very difficult time, as those Marines just trying to fight back and forth against those SCVs, trying to get some distance between those two, and now with that splash damage from those siege tanks, able to finish them off and take them down. And I believe Mouse Morrow will be forced to say Mouse Morrow will be effective with this attack and be able to take down Drewbie. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Drewbie and Morrow here on Blistering Sands.